Hi everyone. Thank you, Aishnavi, for the great session. Really happy to join you all today in the part two of our MEA seminar series. I hope you're having an informative time so far. As Vaishnavi was taking us through the demo, I couldn't help but nod my head in agreement because as marketers ourselves, this is what we do day in and day out, and we can really vouch that workplace really works for the kind of work that we do. So I hope there are no issues with the audio and video so far, and I will be sharing my screen shortly as we go to the second part of the seminar. But if you happen to have any issues, please let us know through the questions tab. And I also ask my fellow trainers and colleagues to interrupt me if there are any issues so that I can fix it and get back on track. So let's take a small break. Maybe some of you are sitting around for a long time, so take some time to sip a water or stretch a little bit before we dive in into the next example that we will be dealing with. So I want to throw in a poll in this time that we're taking a break to understand how many of you have to interact with customers or external stakeholders. So you should see the poll right now. Is it very often that you have to interact with people outside your organization, or is it just sometimes? Or I'd like to know the pulse of the audience that I will be talking to today. So please go ahead and answer the poll. Yes, the answers are coming in. There are no answers so far for some time. So I think all of us have to very often interact with people outside our organization. Yes, keep going, keep going. Okay, so I think a lot of you have answered. I'll still wait around for a few more seconds in case you're not sure which option to choose. But yes, it looks like very often is the most popular answer, and second comes quite often, and some of you say sometimes. So great, thank you for taking the poll. So because a lot of you have to interact externally, this session or this demo is going to be really useful for you. So let me go ahead and share my screen and get started with the presentation. Okay, great. I hope it is visible now. Let me know if there are any problems. So the example that I will be taking today is setting up a customer feedback committee. So this is an example to showcase the different ways in which you can communicate with people outside your organization. So this need not be a rigid example for anyone here who has to interact with clients or stakeholders or simply about anyone outside your team. Then this is going to be really relevant, and we will take a look at how workplace features come in handy to do that. So in this example, there are some basic needs when you talk about external customer interactions, right? One, you will have to regularly communicate to them. You will have to let them know about the updates when or ask feedback from them. So regular communication is one basic need. This second is secure storing and sharing of files. So let's say in this example here, the customer feedback committee, the team is going to involve the customers very early on, even before the launch of the product, so that we get an idea about how the product is being perceived, and we get feedback, and we can go ahead and better the experience for them. So it's important that we share just the files intended for them, and we do it securely. And once we receive feedback from these external stakeholders, we need to track the action items and get to work immediately, and fix the products or work on solving the issues. So for that, we need task management. And even though emails, chat, and all these conversations work well, I think it's really good to meet with your customers face to face, given the time that we are in and how the nature of work is changing, like Vaishnavi had discussed. It's really difficult to meet face to face. So we need to have virtual online meetings periodically. And then, even though all of this is available, we should also create an atmosphere for them to come forward and share their thoughts as and when they occur. an atmosphere where they can also interact with their own peers like they interact with us, the team. And of course, finally, all the feedback that we receive, all the thoughts, the questions, we need to streamline them and store it properly and act on them. So these are some of the basic needs when you are a team or when you're a person who has to be involved in external customer interactions. So we're going to see a live demo of how workplace satisfies or solves some of the problems that we have in such interactions. So I'm going to skip right now to my demo screen. Okay, so I guess you should be able to see the workplace screen now. So before we dive deep into this, I'm going to probably ask another poll. All of us have challenges when we have to interact with customers. So I want to know, what are your biggest challenges when you have to collaborate externally? Is it securely sharing your data or keeping everyone on the same page? Or is it about, missing deadlines? So please go ahead and post your votes. Okay. So I think a lot of us feel that keeping everyone on the same page is a problem, and even missing deadlines is a big problem. Yes, really. I mean, when you have to deal with so many people and you have to keep in mind everything, that's really a challenge. So let's see how workplace can help with some of these problems or challenges. So, yes, as you can see, I'm in the workplace dashboard screen. And for the sake of this demo, I will be posing as Rebecca Anderson, who's part of the Zilka team. So Rebecca is especially involved in customer interactions, and she is the customer success lead. So she is responsible to make sure that the customers feel welcome. So this is her job in the team. So I'm Rebecca for the day. So I wake up with a great idea. One of the products that Zilka team is developing, which we call Sketches, it is a visual design product. So I think the product is in great shape. We have given early access to a lot of our customers, and they're using it, and we're getting some, good impressions from them. So I want to streamline these interactions and establish a feedback committee where customers will be involved in each step of the development process as we gear up towards launch. So this is the idea that I have, but I want to make sure that my team is also on board with this idea. So for that, I head over to mail, and instead of mailing them or asking them something, I'd rather have a informal discussion with them. So for that, I go to streams. There's a group called Zilka Creators, like you can see. So yes, this is a group where all the creators of Sketches app are present. So we have an allies, which is Zilka creators at zilka.com, and 9 members are here. So this is where we have discussions related to the product, or we can create and maintain notes or create events that is relevant to all of the people here. And based on the tasks we have at hand, we also log them here and assign it to different people, or save important URLs as bookmarks. So this page helps us do all of that. So in this streams, I want to start a discussion and ask my team what they think about this new customer feedback committee idea, and if they're also on board with it. So as you can see, I have posted the message, so asking them what they think. And a couple of them have already replied, and they think this is a great idea. And I'm happy about that. But I want the other members to chime in as well to make sure they don't miss this discussion. I'm going to tag the group here, and I'm going to ask what their thoughts are. So this way, each of the members in this group will get a notification that something is going on. You better go check it out. So my people see this notification, and they're going to share their thoughts and ideas. So now that I know that my team, my internal team, is on board, I want to, go ahead and select the customers who we will be choosing to be part of our customer advisory council, otherwise called as customer feedback committee. So we already have that in Zoho Sheet in WorkDrive. As you can see, there's a sheet here that is called early adopters. So this sheet holds all the information about the people we have given early access to, the countries they are from, etc. These are rows and rows of information, but the great thing about Zoho Sheet is this feature called Insights by Zia. So what Zia does is she gives me visual representations of the data. I can see in the form of graphs the number of partner accounts I have, the number of other accounts, and how many have been given access, denied access, or the countries these different people are from. So without having to go through each of these separately, I can just visually understand what's going on. So that is a very useful feature by Zoho Sheet right here. So I also have a smaller version of this sheet as top users. These are the people that use our products day in and day out and keep sending us valuable feedback. So this is the people I want to email and ask if they want to join our committee, if they want to join the customer council. So one way to do it would be to open mail and type them an email, type each of them an email and send it. But that is not the most efficient way, is it? So I'd rather do it through something called the mail merge feature, which is available in Writer. So I'm going to go and first create a Writer document. So here, I will first place the body of the email that I want to send these people. Okay, so this is the basic body. I want to send all of them. It introduces me. It talks about sketches and why I want the people to join the council. So there is this beautiful automation feature in Writer called Mail Merge. I click on Automate, and there's something called Merge Template. So here, my data source can be anything from a CSV, a Zoho contacts, sheet, forms, creator. So just about anywhere you store contacts, you can use that in the place of the data source here. So for me, as you can see, in my case, I have them all in Zoho Sheet. So I'm going to choose Zoho Sheet and pick the workbook, which is early adopters in this case. Select a sheet and say choose. Once I do that, you can see that instantly all of the fields from the sheet are populated here. You can see the company name. These are all the different columns in the sheet, right? So here, as I start the email, I would like this feature to automatically fill in the name of the person I'm emailing. So I click on name field. So dynamically, to every person this email is being sent, their name will be replaced in this place, which is great. And I want to send this document as an email. So in the next screen, I will select merge and send via email. I'd rather schedule it than send it immediately. So I'm going to configure the time, probably tomorrow at the same time, and I click schedule. So I've also chosen that I be sent email notification when the merge is initiated and completed. So then I will click on schedule merge. As you can see, intelligently, the email address column has been picked and placed here in the place of to address. That's really great. And we can give a subject line here, invitation to customer council. I want this to be in line and not an attachment. And if I want any further attachments, I can add them here as well. And I click schedule. So the merge is in progress and great. It has been scheduled successfully, and I'm also given a link that I can use to check the status of the emails. So this way, I don't have to worry about emailing all of them separately. So this is all done, and mail merge will take care of the rest of the work. So once this email goes out to my customers, some of them are going to reply and some of them may have doubts and all of that, right? So for example, here's one reply that I've received. But as you can see, this is in a different language. But I don't have to worry because there is this in-house translate option that is available. I can just click on it and instantly it is translated to my language, which is English. So this also comes in really handy when you work with people across geographies, and if your team is also spread across the world, they can just stick to the language of their choice and we will be able to translate it instantly. So now I know what this person is telling me. So in certain cases, when you receive a reply from a person, but you want more context about this person before you can, send a response. So for that, One thing you can do is copy their email address, post it in CRM, and get more information. But Zoho Mail makes it even simpler for you. There is this option called e-widget here, and in e-widgets we have Zoho CRM. As you can see, automatically the sender's email ID is picked from here and placed in the Zoho CRM e-widget, and I already get the information about this person. So this person who has emailed me, Patricia Boyle, is a lead, and I can also see what other activities have been going on in the company related to her and more. So now I know more about her and how long she has been associated with Zilker, and I can really make a very personal response to this person. So even without switching the tab, even without going to another app, this integration helps me get more information about her. So this way, the people that email me, I can get more information just by staying within Zoho Mail. So all this is great, and now I want to meet with all these people, those who have given me the approval, and probably sort of have a kickoff meeting so that we can discuss the specifics. So what I can do is I can just say schedule a meeting and probably name it kickoff meeting. I want it for tomorrow around 11 a.m. in the morning. So I'll choose the time. Now, this is the great thing. So as soon as I choose the time, I get a warning that I have another meeting at the same time. So this way, meeting makes sure that I don't schedule too many things at the same time and gives me a warning so I can change the time or reschedule it. So that's really great. You don't have to, go every time to your calendar and check it. So this really comes in handy when you are a person who has several meetings on the same day. So here I can add the participants. This will be some people in my team and also other people outside the team. I can just add in their email IDs and they will receive an invite. Just for example, I've added 3 people and I give save. So now the meeting has been scheduled. Both Vaishnavi and I have been telling you how the apps within Workplace are all very tightly integrated, right? So here's an example. So as soon as I schedule a meeting there, in the Zoho calendar interface, I'll be able to see this meeting being added. See, with all this information and with all the participants and information about whether they've said yes or no, so I have everything here right inside my calendar, and all I had to do was schedule a meeting in Zoho Meeting. So this way the apps inside Workplace are very well integrated and really talk to each other. So the kickoff meeting happens and it all goes really well and all is good. But we do receive a lot of feedback from this kickoff meeting, and we want to be able to, fix the issues or take the next action items based on this feedback. So this is where task management comes in. There are many ways to do it. So the first one that I'll be talking about is I'm going back to the group that we saw. So here it already has all the creators involved in the product, right? So I can just go here and add a task, say fix design issues, assign it to a teammate, and say add. So now I will click on this task to show you the detailed view. You can give it different statuses or give it a start date or end date, and also have subtasks, under these bigger tasks. Write a comment to everything. So this streams, the task module inside the streams group really doubles up as a complete task management software. So this and this group already has all the members of the team, right? So it makes it easy for me to assign different tasks to them and track it. Let me show you the complete tasks view. I go to the task module and yes, I'm in the Zilka creators group. And these are all the tasks in a nice Kanban view. So this makes tasks tracking easy. And once again, even without leaving mail, you will be able to do it. But let's say you're not someone used to tracking your tasks in streams. So let's say you are a Zoho projects user. Then what would you do? Would you switch to projects? You don't have to. right here within the same e-widget we saw before, we also have the Zoho projects integration. So let me spot the projects integration, and yes, so there is a project called feedback from CAC. So here I can, add a task and add comments here. I can add a new task. Let's say decide meeting date, assign it to somebody, give it a start date, end date. So your entire Zoho projects portal will reside inside the small space, and you can just add tasks or add comments on already created tasks instantly. So this way, the integrations with Zoho projects really comes in handy. So let's say you are not using Zoho projects, but you are on some other third-party project management apps. Then once again, you don't have to worry, because as you can see from this list, we have so many other apps as well. There is Asana, there is Trello, and if you go to Marketplace, you will find even more. Probably one of my teammates here on this session can add the link to Zoho Marketplace, and all of you attendees can check that later for all the extensions available. So this way, all these contextual integrations really comes in handy. And now that we have emailed them, we have started the kickoff meeting and all of that, I want to create a chat space for them to instantly share their feedback and not wait for the next meeting or the next email. So for that, in Click, we have something called external channels. So I click the plus symbol here. And as you can see, I have 4 options: organization, team, personal, external. I choose external, give it a name, probably call it CAC members. I can add my team members that I want to be on this chat channel. And then after that, I will create the channel. So like I said, this is an external channel, so you can add your external members as well. I will go back to channel info. And there's a message here that says external organization members can only join on invite. So I have to add their email IDs and invite them. Let's say I invite one of them here. Okay, so when this happens, when I invite them, they will get an email with a link to join this Click group if they're already a Click user. If there is no Click account associated with this email ID, then they will be prompted to sign up, and then they will be able to join the channel and take part in the discussions. So just as I was demoing, you can see how we have this really smart message. So looks like you're active in Click. Would you like to check in for the day? So looks like Rebecca has forgotten to check in. So this is a really friendly and cool reminder. So I'm going to check in and continue with my work. So for the sake of the demo, I already have an external channel created. So that's great. As you can see, messages are being exchanged and people are excited. We have the poll bots here when we need to ask questions and decide something. And I have, as you can see, shared a prototype of the designs that we have been working on. This is how the Sketches app looks like. So I want feedback on this. And Karthik here says that the tooltip is missing from the icons. So now I'm not really sure which tooltip he's talking about. So I can just ask that as a text, or I can do this. I can choose the image and click on the edit option. When I do that, I get a set of annotation tools. So I can use these annotation tools to, draw a line and probably spot the specific area in the image and ask them if this is what they mean. So since there's a bit of a delay, let me try that again. Yeah, it's here. So the annotation tools are here. So I'm going to use the arrow. Oh, probably a shape. So I want to ask them if this is what they mean. You can add a text box. There's several options, as you can see. Add tooltip. Okay. So once I do that, I can save the changes. And I hope this is what you mean. Now, other people in the chat will also get a clear picture of what the expectations are. And then they will know exactly what to do. So that way we have annotation tools, we have whiteboards in Click. As we say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So we don't have to worry about explaining everything in text. I will just share images or share whiteboards and get it going. So this is a really nice feature in Zoho Click, and this is an external channel like you saw. So after all these discussions start, I also realize that it's important to have all the files that we share in a single place. Like we already saw, we have a folder, this sketches product pitch folder, where there are a lot of the files already present. Many of these are internal files, like you can see there are confidentiality agreements, there are press release and media kits, and etc., etc. But there is one folder, the external documents, that I want to share with my external stakeholders, my clients and customers. So what I can do is, without disturbing the entire folder, I can just click on this specific folder and say new external share link. Okay, so let's call it CAC member link. I can choose what permission to give them. And if you want an extra layer of security, we can also set a password, set an expiry date if you want it, or if not, you can just skip it. And if you don't want any of these files to reside in the system of your clients, then you can disable downloads and you can create. So now great, we have this link, this external share link for my customers. I can email this link to all of them, or I can just copy it. And since we already have a Click channel, I'll go to the channel and check these files. So that's done. Now my customers, part of the customer feedback committee, will be able to check the folder, and as and when we update these files, they'll also be able to see the latest version. So that's really, really handy. That way we can share files securely without disturbing the team folder structure. I've just selected one folder and shared it with them. So there are some cases where you may want to email some of these files in case people don't check this folder quite often. So for that, I can go back to mail and probably compose a mail. This is something Vaishnavi also showed in her demo, so I'm going to reiterate that and show you how WorkDrive connects beautifully with mail. So I add my people here. So once I add in two members, I get other suggestions as well smartly, like we already saw. So I'm going to include them. Don't forget to check the files before our meeting. All right, so instead of picking those files and dropping them here separately, I can click on this WorkDrive icon. As you can see, I have all my files here that are part of this folder, and I'll select the file which I want to share and say pick. So now I have two options whether to attach this as a link or as a copy. I would rather prefer a link, because this way, every time there is a new copy being uploaded by me or by my team, the customers will also be able to see the same copy. And I just want people that have given permissions in WorkDrive to be able to access this. So this is the option I will choose and click on apply. So there you have it. This has been attached and I can just send the email. Great. So this way, whatever communication channel you choose, be it Click, be it email, or be it having a shared folder, everything is covered in Workplace, all from a single place. So apart from our kickoff meeting and apart from the file sharing, we also need to have periodic meetings, right? Periodic review meetings to be able to collect feedback and to be able to discuss the latest changes that we have made. So for that, I go back to a meeting and I want to schedule a meeting. So this meeting is periodic, like we just saw, feedback meet. So I'll probably start the first one next week. in the morning. Okay, I can add participants right here. And as you can see, there is an option here that says repeat. So repeat is when you want to repeat this meeting. So I want this to be periodic. So let me say a monthly repeat on the first Tuesday of every month. And we'll probably have 7 meetings and all. So now that when I do this, this meeting that I set up will be repeated every month on the first Tuesday. So I don't have to worry about scheduling one separately every month, or I don't have to worry about missing deadlines. So all this is taken care of by Zoho Meeting by giving me this recurring meeting feature. So that's great. We have meetings, and most of us are used to social media, right? So that's where Connect comes into play, where you can have social media like discussions, and we all saw how you can have external networks through Vaishnavi's demo. So I'm going to show you how you can have external members in groups. So when you create groups and when you add external members, you have this message here which says external collaborators are also part of this group. This is important because I have several groups, as you can see in the left pane, and I shouldn't end up posting something that is meant for an internal team here. So as soon as I place the cursor, once again here I get the warning that external collaborators are also part of this group. So now I can be careful to post only what is intended for everybody in the group. So as you can see, a lot of discussions are already going on. There are polls to finalize design decisions. There are feature requests that my customers are posting. And there are questions being asked. This way, just like a social media style, you can just go ahead and ask questions, and our customers can feel at home. This also really enables peer discussion so that the customers themselves can talk with each other and create really a positive experience as they work through sketches, and they can share tips if they want, and so on. So that's great. And when we get such feedback, or when we get periodic suggestions, it's important to streamline them and store it in the same place. So for that, we usually use something like a feedback form, right? So you don't have to leave Workplace again to create such a form. You can use something called custom apps in Connect, which is an integration with Zoho Creator to create your own feedback app. So I've already created an app, but I'll also run you through how that is done. So we can like say a new custom app. Okay, so I can. Zoho Creator. Okay, so if I choose from Zoho Creator, then I can choose the apps that already exist and map them, or I can choose to do it from scratch. So let's call it periodic feedback app. Feedback from CAC. I agree to the terms of the privacy policy and I create app. So this app is created, and the way that we add forms and fields to this app is really, really easy. So this has a great drag and drop structure. I will click on Open Form Builder. As you can see, all the basic fields are already present on the left. I want their name, probably their email ID too. All I'm doing is dragging and dropping. I keep a multi-line field. This is where I want them to enter the feedback. So enter feedback. Want them to be able to type many lines. So I'll probably increase the height a little bit. I'll also keep a radio button. Let's call this how much do you like sketches? I can rename the choices already available. Very much. It's all right. Or not so much. I also want all of the people filling the form to take up this question, so I will make this mandatory. and done. So for now, just for this demo, I've created a very simple form with 4 fields. So your form is in place, and this is how it will look. Great. So to create this form, it literally took me a few seconds, and I can have it as long as I want or as short as I want, depending upon the need. So if you are a Zoho Creator user, then this integration with Zoho Connect will help you create apps instantly. And since this has been created in the context of this group, so all the people in the group will be able to go to custom apps and access the feedback form and fill it up too. So, right from the time when we started setting up the council to the time that we have meetings and to the time that we collect feedback, all of this happens inside Workplace, which is really great. I mean, I did not even have to switch tabs for that matter, right? So, this is why we say that it is a very well integrated platform where everything happens in a single place. But again, everything happens in a single place, right? So, as humans as we are, we tend to forget. Where we had a particular discussion. Was it click? Was it mail? Or did I send it as a file in workday? So that is where the ZR search functionality comes in handy. So I just clicked on the magnifier icon here, and I want to search for everything related to sketches. And there, within seconds, Zia searches across all Zoho apps and gives me results neatly categorized by the app. So these are the mails that have the mention of sketches. These are my click chats that talk about sketches. This is work drive. This is connect. So now I don't have to worry about swimming through the ocean of information I have to find something. I can just input the term that I remember, or I can just search by a person or anything, and I will have all my results right here in Zia's search, proving that this is truly a one unifying platform. So after this, of course, we will be nearing launch, and we can have showtime training sessions and post it on Connect and have people attend them. So all of these areas were already covered by Vaishnavi in the first demo, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these. But as a customer success lead, Workplace really helps me nail those customer interactions and make them feel as a part of the product development. So we're going to go back to the presentation now and summarize quickly as to all the things we saw. So yes, so far we saw a live demo of the different things you will be able to do with Workplace when it comes to external collaboration. And in that, we saw how we can use Mail Merge and Writer to send personalized email to each of the customers in one shot. And we also saw how the inbuilt translator comes in handy when you have people from different geographies emailing you. And we also saw how the other Zoho apps are tightly integrated within Workplace, and how to create external chat channels, and also setting up recurring meetings in Zoho Meeting, and tracking your tasks either within streams or by using our integration with other task apps like Zoho Projects, for example. And we also saw how we can securely and password protected files can be shared to people outside the organization. And we also saw how WorkDrive sits comfortably inside many of the workplace apps through this close integration. And we can also have external Connect channels and collect feedback using custom apps in Connect. And this really brings us to the end of this demo. And before we wrap up, I want to give you a few examples of how Workplace fits into each of these buckets like contextual communication, security, AI, and enterprise workflow. As you saw, there are so many integrations within Workplace, and you also saw how there's the bottom bar that has the chart bar that is available across Workplace apps. You can start audio video calls from wherever you are, don't have to jump tabs. And when it comes to privacy and security, Zoho is really serious about that stuff. So we give features like monitoring company activity through detailed reports, or Click even gives you the ability to restrict the devices from which your people access the app. The mobile management software that you use can be synced with Click, and that will take care of the rest. And Connect also has very high level user permissions and moderation permission. And AI, we both saw how Zia comes into play in Writer and Sheet, and the other apps as well. There are different areas in which Zia gives smart suggestions. And if you are an enterprise, a company with more than 200 users, you may have specific needs and specific compliance requirements. And that is why we have advanced features like e-discovery retention, signature approvals, and organization-wide settings available across workplace apps. And like I said, these are just examples of the many, many features that we have. And Workplace is also available on mobile as a single app from which you can access everything else. Probably a teammate will now post the link to the app as a question or the chat, whichever works conveniently. And you can use the link to download the app on your mobiles if you haven't already. Also, we realize that not everybody in the team has the same level of requirements or has to do the same kind of work. So you can choose to give different plans to different users of your organization. Let's say you want a bunch of users to only have mail access, you can go for Mail Lite, and the others you can give probably workplace plans so that they are able to access other products in workplace as well. So you take your pick, you mix and match plans with different employees in your organization. And this is about product usage to show you that you're not alone. On Workplace, we have 3 million organizations, and our users have crossed 15 million, spread across 150 countries. And our largest customer, who is in the banking industry, has around 29,000 users on the platform. And since this is an MEA exclusive seminar, I want to show you the customers from your region. We have banking, we have hospitals, we even have a restaurant chain, there are IT companies. So this is to show you that our customers are from different industries, and Workplace has tools that suit a lot of these industries and a lot of verticals as well. And if you have specific questions as to how you can adopt Workplace to your industry, you can always let us know, and we'll be happy to help you. So keep bringing your questions. The Q&A expert panel is available. And if you want to connect offline, here is the email ID, support@zohoworkplace.com. For your questions or doubts. And we also have our Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn pages. It would be great if one of you can post the links. So follow us here, and probably you can tweet about this event also. And we'll be posting a lot of updates here if you want to attend further more events. So we will hang around here for a little bit more time and take your questions. So thank you so much for being an incredible audience today at this session. And I hope we get to meet you in another very informative session very soon. So thank you, MEA, and thank you also to my co-hosts, my trainers, and Srinath and Pavitra, who are available as Q&A experts as well. So thank you, team. So go ahead and ask your questions if you have any.